All right.
There we go.
There she is. Fast.
Welcome to sit down at the table. So first off, I'd like to say thank you to everyone coming. I know it was on short notice, and I apologize for that. There was some information being distributed that I felt needed to be clarified for the citizens out there, and make sure we're all on the same page. Come on in.
You can sit up here.
So, we're here today to talk just generally about situations that we've spoken about this before and have had a couple of meetings about a year and a half or so ago, kind of along the same lines, to just identify some particular issues with the trailer court and historical issues, and we want to know how we're going to move forward. There's a lot of rumors out there that the city is wanting to get rid of the trailer court and kick everybody out and those kinds of things. That's certainly not our intent. But our intent is to partner with you guys to really understand some of the issues we're facing. So back in, you have that, Zach?
No, yeah, sorry.
Back in 2010, we were doing the sewer project and identified a few issues and entered into some agreements with Mr. Oswald and Becky. And so back then, we identified this issue and had and came up with some solutions at the time. So you might take a look here on right there. So that particular manhole was found to be underneath the front porch of
Clarification, that's a back porch.
a back porch. Okay, it was found to be at the time, and some items were removed off the trailer. We came to some agreement at that time. We didn't remove the trailer or request that be done at the time. So that was done. And that sewer line goes underneath 3 trailers, that one, and then going to the east there. So, right. And then the other sewer line is at the very south end of the park. And you can kind of see where it's going there. So this agreement kind of talked about easements and what we're going to do and set some boundaries as to what would need to be moved if we're going to need to get in there and repair anything in those 2 sewers. Now, obviously, all the trailer homes are connected to these 2 sewer lines. Now, we fast forward to the water project. We didn't do any legal surveys at the time to determine that. There's kind of some this is what we think as far as where everything's located at. So during the water project, if you want to jump over to the actual survey map. Okay. So we had to replace all the lines in the water project, and we also needed to do some surveying to establish where the actual new water line was going to go, and that was mainly on 2nd Street. Locust Street is not a developed street, although we did get a water easement to go across the field to the west. Now, in that survey, we went back and said, hey, where is everything located? Do we know where all the property lines are? Because it was just hearsay at that point, right? So we had this survey done, the city, and we set the 8 corners there of the boundary. Now, So this is the property that the trailer park is sitting on, and the original plat of that is lots going east-west, essentially 50 by 140 lots going east-west. However, only a couple of the trailers are N and M were added later, but they're going east-west. Everything else is north-south. The trailer park, when it was created, was never platted as a trailer park. So, we as a city, and we've had complaints from various tenants over the years as to what is your lot size. We don't know. That is between Chad and
Clarification on that, I've read somewhere that's 20 feet on one side and 10 on the other for every lot.
that
On
may
the
be,
trailer. That's just, if you measure it out, that's pretty uniform with what's set out there, so.
and that may be
There's
true.
a general number, I do work construction, so.
And that may be true, but
Somebody can work with there.
we don't have anything on paper that says that anywhere. That
No, I don't know where I read it, maybe somewhere in the code. It makes sense if you sit there with a tape measure.
Yeah,
Mine's on the corner, 20 feet to the east, it's a little farther than that to the road, I know that's easement on any road like a ditch or back of ditches and down. On the other side, about 10 feet from under the yard, the lot.
so,
There used to be clotheslines in between that help measure that, where each trailer, one post was on each lot, but I think mine might be the only one with one left in there.
maybe. I'm just saying, from the city point of view, we don't have any information, and it's not platted at the county that way either. The original plat is still in effect, is how this is platted. So, puts us in an interesting position here, is what do we do with the plat as we move forward? So, when we pass the zoning regs, over the years, we also noticed that this was not platted as a trailer park, as a mobile home park. It was platted as R1, so it had a zoning question. When we passed the zoning regs, the city said, well, it's obviously existing, because it's here. So do we continue with a R1 as it was currently zoned, or do we zone it as it's currently being used? City decided to zone it as it's currently being used, but no plat has ever been reestablished for that. So everybody that owns and lives in the trailers, this is what we found is trailers, which I believe on normally J is trailer 1 and A is trailer 6, and then it goes 7 on over, and K and L is trailer 9, 7, 8, and 9. So this is where they're located in road right of way. Question becomes, as people buy and sell, or if any of these are moved at some point in time, they can't really go back where they're currently at. Now, what does that mean? I don't know, and that's what we like input from you guys as to how we're going to solve this problem. As we, someone sells a home, number one, is this being disclosed that these are the issues with the property lines? I don't know if that's being disclosed or not. We have some evidence that that is not 100% the time being disclosed. So, and maybe that's because it wasn't being aware, it wasn't aware of it.
We didn't know there was an issue till we got this letter, so
I
that's
understand
kind of
that.
double
Yeah,
talk.
why wasn't it platted as a trailer court when you first realized that this was an issue?
My trailer's been there since 1970.
This trailer park
I
started
got the lot,
in the
that's the business we put in, 1970.
And on top of that, why is it what we have to do? Why isn't it what you guys have to do? If you wanna move, then you should pay for it.
Yeah.
It's.
You okay with being in there?
The
Cause
city ain't
I-
right, so the city's.
My
the one
grandfather
that's
calls in.
entitled to it.
Hold on, please.
One at a time.
Just go one at a time.
Oh, thank you.
I want to be sure we hear everyone, so let's not talk over each other, and we want to get into, it's not an argument, this is a discussion about, here's the situation we're facing from the city point of view. What the city has discussed, okay, well, what happens if someone would like to sell their trailer? Now, would the city perhaps purchase that and then allow space to then get the trailers on, the new trailer that is put in there, onto property? How would that look? Is that a purchase situation? The agreement back in 2010 does have some guidelines, at least some information in here as to who pays for what. City does have some responsibility in there, but the trailer park owner also has some responsibility in there for easement issues if we were gonna have to repair sewer and that kind of thing. That was the agreement back in 2010. Now, what are we gonna do going forward? Is it gonna remain the same? We need to make some changes to that? What's you guys' thoughts here? Go ahead.
I think you ought to just move the lot lines to where everything fits in there. Because it's been that way for, what, 50 years at least?
At least
And
40.
everybody else in town, not everybody else, but a lot of people have got exceptions. Lot lines have been changed, easements have been changed. So why can't we just do it for that, since there's 15 homes involved?
Could be an opportunity to do that. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. However, does present some problems as we move forward. If Locust, because we've been asked on Locust Street, going up to the north, are we ever gonna develop that? If we develop that and we move that lot line, then that cannot be developed. So there's some long-term considerations by moving some of
Isn't there
these
flush
lot
pipes
lines.
on Locust side, the west side of the trailer park,
What's
somewhere
the
right in
point
there?
of the road? Like, what are you using the
For
road
the city
for?
water?
I had two questions there.
Isn't there flush pipes on the west side of the trailer park for the city water lines?
No.
In
There
between
is a
there and
water
Tree Goats?
line- There is a water line easement that goes straight west out of, Second Street. That was
Correct.
not there before.
If I remember correctly, they used to flush city pipes either right there at that dead end or the street up above where the duplexes are.
There probably is one at the duplexes.
But if you're gonna put a road there, how are you gonna do that with the flush pipes there? You gonna build that road over the flush pipes?
Very good question.
There's
I mean, this
water
don't
lines-
make sense
There's
where
roads
you-
over water lines all over town, so.
But that's not a flush pipe.
I understand.
My question is, I think, why would you build a new road over where you know the flush pipes are? I understand the existing roads and we
You're
can't
gonna have
move
to
those,
move
but if
that
you have
on
a chance
top
to
of
put a
Of the thing, you just go to the Second Street. That means the back row can still go up to the Second Street to get out. For example, like when they redid that intersection at Second and Locust. But if you just have that one street to go to Second Street even,
And that is a possibility, not saying it's not a
and you don't have to move any lot lines.
but that is a property owner discussion.
Well, then why isn't that discussion happening with property owner?
Because we wanted to get everybody involved, because it's gonna affect you guys no matter what we do.
Yeah, but why hasn't these things been talked about prior to this
We
development?
had a meeting with the
Even though
property.
it's been known for over a decade.
we had a meeting owner with the property owner a couple of years ago, and some of you came to that public meeting with, because we asked you guys to come at that time and presented the same issue and said, hey, what is the plan here? What can we do here? We have not received any confirmation or any plans at this point. No changes, no, hey, this is what I think we might do. So,
What is the city's goal, like, as a team, what do you guys work on to, like, decide what you wanna do as a city? You know what I mean? Like, when you get together, what are you working towards that will benefit us as citizens?
we want to be sure we're providing you good services, safe living areas, safe roads, and a safe area to be in, and that things are within legal parameters. Because we could do nothing.
You know, what's making it unsafe? What's making it unsafe right now?
Any more than any other neighborhood
Yeah.
here. There's 15
What's
people, you count up
unsafe?
15 houses, how many blocks that takes up? You're pulling out that many people and saying something's wrong with your neighborhood. Well, we're kind of a
Sorry.
small community, so we're all a neighborhood. So there's a problem once in a while, it's kind of everybody's problem.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been.
Like if the co-op goes down, it's not just a problem for Overbrook, it's a problem for like Tri-County area farmers.
Development in the future, is that the, like, whole idea?
So my name's Zach Anchutes. I'm kind of the stand-in city attorney because there was a conflict out on this. Some of the issues here, and really, like, John just brought me into this, so I'm kind of into this cold. I haven't seen this issue. But the goal here is to try to figure out a solution on this. The problem from a legal perspective, I'm an attorney, from a legal perspective is those trailers sitting outside those lot lines, that's liability upon the city, right? So therein lies the issue, right? Now, I don't know.
Wasn't that already grandfathered in, like, well over 20
There's no
years ago? with
grandfathering in of
Kaufman's?
liability. There's no grandfathering in of liability.
Then what deal did you make with the Kaufmans
I didn't
on
make
city
any deal.
easement for those front 6 lots?
I didn't make any deal with the city.
I'm not saying you, there was an agreement
The city
before.
had to agree
I
for
remember it as
for
a
to go there.
child. You're not gonna
Just
tell
had
me
to
it
be
didn't
agreed,
happen.
The city didn't notice it
Okay?
until 40 years later after you had police calls and all kinds of stuff. I mean,
John
this sounds
wasn't there.
insane in your argument, it really does.
Yeah, he wasn't
Just to put it to you
Hold
in simple
on, hold on,
terms.
please. John wasn't the mayor in 2010, okay? I understand that there are
Yeah,
issues.
No, but he
was.
was still prevalent in the city.
Great, but he wasn't the mayor,
He
all
still
right?
had say. He's a very big name in this town.
Fine, we'll
He
agree to
holds more
disagree on
weight
that.
than most of us
Here's the
standing in
issue.
this room right at this moment.
Are you finished?
Yes, I'm finished. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
great, thank you. So I understand I understand where everybody's coming from. This has been the way it's been for 40 years, right? That being the case, I get it, but you can't have this sitting out here from a liability standpoint on the city side.
So why didn't everybody care before?
I don't know, and I can't speak to that,
Right,
honestly.
'cause you
Yeah,
haven't
I
been
can't
around.
speak to that, right?
I don't, to be honest with you, I don't think until we had this survey done in 2023, I don't think anyone actually, we knew we had one problem for sure, and that was the one over the manhole. Until we did this survey, it was speculation as to whether they were on property or off property. We had no idea. And back in the agreement back in 2010, this is a hand drawing. This is not a legal survey. So back then, city looked at it and said, looks okay, from what this drawing is presented, but it's not a legal document. This is a legal agreement, but not a legal survey. So until we did this survey in 2023, we had no idea. I mean, there was no definitive to say where this stuff is at.
So what was the point of the survey? What brought the survey on?
Again, we had to do the survey. When we put the water lines in,
Water project.
we did not have easements for some of these water lines where they were going.
Okay.
So we had to determine, where is this? Where is this water line can go in? Because we extended this water line across, if you go back to that map. we extended the water line, which is not shown on there, but essentially from the, Second Street. So, right there, we extended that water line all the way over to Second Street on the other side. That never existed before.
Now, what is that big building there, or is that a field?
That's the field.
That's the field.
Okay,
So we had to determine where are we at? Are we even in the right of way? Can we even put this here? And that was the point of the survey. And so when we did this, we said, well, if we're gonna do that, we didn't want to put a water line underneath people's houses on purpose. So we need to determine where this stuff was at.
Question, how wasn't it a non-legal document, combined with a legal?
What I'm saying is this,
Yes, but how is that included into that legal contract? If that
It
is
is-
not a legal document of a survey, how is that,
number of
how is
this,
that able to be put into a legal
is
document?
of this agreement, the park map attaches exhibit three.
Yes, but
I'm
if
just
it's,
reading from the agreement here.
I understand,
Hang on, just a second.
okay,
The park map attached to exhibit 3 shows the location of the lots on the real property, and the Oswalds certify its accuracy.
okay, so you're just going based off of word to mouth.
So,
Why?
Okay, my next question is, you
I
just
didn't
put
say it
a,
was the right thing to do, I'm saying that was what was done.
you just said you didn't wanna put water lines underneath people's houses on purpose. You just put a water line across that field. The reason you wanna put a road there is so you can develop it later where houses are gonna be. So you just contradicted everything you said.
Obviously, if there's an easement there, they can't put a house on top
Can't put a house on.
on top of the easement.
That's why you wanna build a road, is so you can develop it later on down the road.
We are not looking at that. Property owner is not looking at developing that at this time. That may happen 20 years from now with different owners, different people. We don't know that. But the city has to think about those things in the future. You know, are we gonna cause a problem for someone 25 years from now? And what we're trying to avoid here is not perpetuating a known problem. So we want to get this information out to you guys to say, well, what's our common solution here? And one option is, you're right, we could move some of those lot lines.
I think that's your best option, honestly.
That is an option.
I think it should be the only option when you got 15 people living there in your town that come and do all your pay taxes. We are the same as everybody else, are we not?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so are you gonna tell me you're gonna go around to 15 homes out of these people just because there's a problem? And be like, sorry, you gotta leave.
There's other options.
That should be your only option is what I'm saying. Look at all of us.
Then why not go all the way all
You're
around town and
just
inspect
throwing us
everyone's
away.
property lines to where they have property over public easements?
that would be my
Where it
next.
happened,
Like your
where it's
fucking
all over
shed.
town.
Your garage, your shed.
And instead of just
I mean,
singling
come
out.
on, man.
There's an old saying, what's good for the goose, good for the gander.
Yeah.
We
Can I
don't put our
ask
pants on, shoes the
a
same, we're all
question of
doing
people who
we
live
got,
down
come
there?
on, man.
Can I ask a question of people who live down there?
Yeah.
Is everybody an owner of a home?
I am.
Yes, I am.
When you, and sorry if you don't want to talk about this, but when you bought the property, did you get title to it? Was there, I mean,
Yeah,
how
we've
did
all
that?
got titles.
We
Or
have title
all
to the
do.
trailer, not the property.
We've got titles because Chad owns the property.
Chad is the owner of the
Yeah.
property.
Property, so
Yeah.
everybody
We
owns their
just
own
rent the
property.
lot from Chad. He's
So
the
you rent the
property-
lot from Chad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the homes we own. I think everybody
I
down
own
there
it, pay
owns.
tax
You
and
don't
utilities,
own the
that pretty much makes it mine.
some kind of liability to cover the.
Well, I mean, and
Where it's at. not
here's the
really-
deal. So let's just say, and I don't know who's who,
Yeah, that's my trailer that goes right down the middle.
who's D? there?
I'm B.
Who's D?
I'm B.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, you're B. So, if you have a kid who's riding a bike, and I'm just using an example, you have a kid who's riding a bike, runs into the side of the trailer that's actually on city property, are you gonna be willing to sign an agreement that indemnifies the city for all liability and loss?
But none of the trailers are on the
No,
road.
hold on.
No,
Why,
I get what
why
you're
would that
saying.
even be an option, like?
Well,
Because
first of all,
we live in
trespassing.
a litigious society, unfortunately,
I know,
people will
it's
sue
not-
us.
I
about
agree with
that.
I'll see that, and I've been doing this for about 25 years. What I can tell you is they're gonna go to the deepest pockets.
And
That's the city.
I don't know.
look,
if
if
that
a
is
kid
ever-
wrecks his bike and breaks his arm in my yard, I'd pay for it just because I'm a good person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't contact the
Why
city, I
would
wouldn't
you?
contact
Why
the
would you sue the city over something that's stupid when you're the owner of the trailer?
I
And
can tell you it has happened.
I understand what you're saying, though. They would go after the deepest
Look,
pockets if they're gonna sue somebody. That's our society today. I get that.
look, and so
If that happened on any property though, there's an easement that the city that claims, and if a kid comes and rides a bike on my house.
But
and
what I'm,
and
and I
crashes,
agree
it would
with
go
you.
against my homeowners associate, or insurance policy, and they have the deepest pockets.
And what I'm telling you though is, they're gonna go against both people, right? They're gonna go against the city because of the property being on the easement, and the issue with the city here,
It's an assumption.
huh?
It's an assumption.
Abilities if somebody gets hurt down there.
Or you change the easement.
Yeah, that's what, well,
Right,
that would
and-
be the
and-
simplest.
and- Right, but what John is saying here
He doesn't want
is, we're looking for solutions, right? I'm just trying to outline what the issues are.
Right.
So I have a quick question.
Simplest solution is gonna be
When was this-
changing the lines.
When was this rezoned and re-annexed, and for what purpose? So in order, no, I know, but in order to rezone and re-annex, the city has to have an independent purpose for the property. So if they can't say
It's
adjust,
not being rezoned.
so why was it zoned into this? Cause I moved here 25 years ago and I lost 50 feet of my easement because you guys put property on the other side of the street from me. So at some point in time, it had to be rezoned and re-annexed. So we're in conflict with the current railroad easement through there. So it doesn't look like the city did due justice in performing this task right here. And there's 13 pages of Supreme Court law that says you can't do that without having the proper documentation and follow through. So that was just 30 minutes of studying, not 25 years of whatever he does.
Studying's cheaper and gets the same result, so there you go.
But I mean, and I mean, that's not really everything else that happens in the city, right? So
Okay, Barry, you have a question, and then you.
I do. Oh, who's there?
Go ahead.
Okay. My question is, has the easements ever been changed in this town anywhere?
yes.
I don't know that we've changed an easement, we've gained additional easements. We have not changed, the only time we've changed one is if we abandon a road, which we have, or we abandon an alley, which we have.
That's incorrect. Market Street goes down that way. There used to be a 100-foot easement originally designed. That was Main Street. That was gonna be all the buildings all on Main Street. You redesigned, and I know this because I added on to my house. I put bedrooms in the garage, and I was gonna add a garage out front. Everything was good, and then I went to add the garage, and they said, oh, now the rules have changed. You have to have 50 feet of front yard. And I said, well, currently I can't do that because 50 feet of front yard puts you 14 feet in my living room. And then 3 weeks later, I find out that they're building duplexes across the street. So you have taken easements, you have rezoned, you have restructured easements. So you have, I just want everybody to know that it's
I don't think Market has ever changed the road right of way. It does change in those 2 blocks, I will tell you that.
So I still have
It
the
goes-
same, I still have the same
It
easement.
goes
then.
from 100-foot to, I'd have to look it up. I wanna say it goes from 100 to 60 foot.
So then you have to, then basically the houses across the street, the 100-foot easement puts them 14 feet inside their structure too, so.
We would have to look at it. I can't answer your question right off.
Well, I'm just telling you, like, to me, this seems like, you're running out the poor people and the people that are,
Are having a hard time.
Right.
or
These
have
people are
medical
down on their luck,
problems,
right?
or
Yeah.
month
You
to
don't need to look
month,
for any place to
living
live.
on Social
I ain't got all
Security.
day to stand here, I just want to flat out, just be upfront with me, you couldn't even answer yes or no questions they asked. They asked a yes or no question, you drone on, she asked you
I
yes or
don't think you
no.
need to look for a new place right
Okay,
today.
that's all I want to know.
Right today.
Right today.
Right today, that's a solid answer.
It seems to me like this is just another, unfortunately, like an example of a mistake that the
A
city has
mistake
made.
not on our part.
The fact that these houses are turned in the incorrect orientation, they're sitting on top of easements. This is one of many examples that everyone's familiar with that could be discussed all day long.
Okay, but hold on a second, and I don't necessarily disagree with you. This is a mistake, but let's not crucify the guy that didn't make that
This
mistake.
is the city, we didn't say the mayor.
Right, I get it.
That's not my
I get it.
point.
Well, then don't
Why do you
come
think
at us
we're
for
against the
crucifying
mayor?
somebody when we're not.
He also has the burden of setting correct what was wrong.
Right,
So,
right.
Now,
So
let's
I
go
agree.
back to the city. I don't live here all the time. I work remote 100% of the time. I'm all over everywhere. 2 years in Tennessee, I see people putting on Facebook, I gotta move a car. I'm waiting for parts to repair it. Like, I have to get rid of this car. Don't have tags, don't have this. That's an ordinance. There's Supreme Court case law that states you do not have to have tags on a car anywhere in the United States.
I don't know that that's pertinent to this
No,
conversation. I understand what you're
but
saying.
my point is, they did that to run out the people, like, hey, we can't afford to fix cars, now you have to move. They're finding, they're putting penalties on people to get them to relocate,
I've
and it's the
had
same
several cars.
place that you're talking about rezoning now.
Hold on just a second.
Go ahead.
So, I'm just gonna be honest with you here. The city does have legal authority to go in and do anything that they want to, right? I'm sorry, that's the blunt truth, is that the city can go in and they can make these changes, they can do this, they can rezone, they can do all this stuff. The idea here is that the city came to everybody, which I don't know why the hell John does it, or anybody does it, because they get blasted on Facebook for this. The idea of this meeting was to set everybody down and say, how do we approach this, solution-wise, right? I think they already brought up an idea of moving the easement lines, okay? Obviously, I don't have the authority to decide that or anything like that, but that's a potential solution, all right, is to move those easement lines. What are other potential solutions that can help resolve this? They don't want to run anybody out of their home.
I disagree.
I do too.
Oh, okay, well, but, okay, I'm coming at this from a completely.
Dan's raising his hand.
Yeah, Chad.
Right? And we already talked about me purchasing a few feet of the whole front to get those, to give me extra property on the front. And then if that was done, the only trailer in question after that would be Jessica's on the sewer.
Which one's?
So it's a 70-foot road right of way. Currently is platted. If we took 25 feet to get get it inside that line, that means you're purchasing 25 feet across all of it. We don't have enough space for a road, 2nd Street through there. Now you got a 50-foot road right of way, and you got the other side of the road. So
So how wide does a road have to be legally in Overbrook?
So why wouldn't we just take over the maintenance of the road?
And why would,
26 feet.
so you have, on Locust Street, that's only a 50-foot easement?
yeah, we could get down. We could maybe get there, maybe.
See, that's the problem. It's always maybe or what if with you.
Well, we would have
I
to
know,
do-
but I understand that, but you held this meeting when Chad's already gave you solutions. Then
I
you held
agree with
this
what Chad
meeting
said.
when
We should
Chad
go
is
ahead,
really
man.
what's up on it.
Okay.
You can do that for everybody else, come on.
Especially
When I
when,
move out of trailer, I'll probably tear the thing down where he can put in one or something.
especially where
And that's just it. If somebody
he's
moves their
willing to
trailer
even
or
buy
there's,
the property. Are you
or there's a
kidding?
fire or God forbid a tornado and takes out half these trailers, then
Take 'em.
fine.
Take them.
You can rezone it, and you know
But
what?
right
You
now, those are
can
our
make him do
homes.
whatever you need to do. Then you can do that.
But you got 15
But that's how you already have it
families,
written
man.
right now. Is if anything
So-
is dislodged or
Do any of the people that live in C or D, are they here?
I'm here. He is on vacation.
D is on your C?
I am.
Okay. And he's 25 feet on.
According to the survey, well, E, where's E at? Well, E, which is part of D, is 29.2 feet north of Block 7.
Okay. And I don't know, is your home able to be moved, or is it, I'm just asking straight out.
At the city's risk. I'm not moving it. I'm not risking that.
You can't move those trailers, they're sitting too long.
That's one of my questions. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't.
But I will
If you
point out
move
that I was
his,
looking through the
you gotta
county
move-
and
you gotta move them
he
all.
and I
Yeah.
think 5
Move them
other
all.
trailers recently, as of like 2013, had permits to move them where they are.
From the county.
It was on the zoning map with the parcel owners.
When you say that, you mean the county is the one that has
Yes.
it?
I can show you the link shortly.
That's okay. I can find it. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. And
There was a
again-
permit specifically to put D in after that
Okay.
fire, and then there
Okay.
were several others for
It's good
relocation.
information. And with that being the case, you know, again, did we require, and this is a problem within the city, and if you're gonna build anything within the city or move anything in the city, are we going to require a legal survey before you can do that? Because that's expense for everybody. We have not done that historically in the past. Say, generally, this is the accepted lot lines. Now, but you can see we're issuing a permit without a legal document to say where the property line is, creates a problem later on. Because now, if we issued a permit for lot D, which you're saying we did, and I'm believing you, so let's say we did, well, should we have?
That's kind of a moot point.
It is kind of a moot point, but going forward, what I'm saying, going forward, if we require a legal survey to build anything in town to alleviate this issue, unless we can 100% guarantee that it's not outside of the boundaries. You see what I'm getting at? So every time you do anything, that's an expense, and it's an expense to the property owners. Is that where we want to live as well? It could end up being where we live.
Here's the issue too, though, well, and not with that, that's its own issue, but, you know, when you take the 15 households that are down there, this town does not have any rentals. People are always begging to move to this town, there is no housing. And we had 3 rentals down there at one time, constantly full, never had to advertise because they were rented before the other people left. And Amber back here rents from us now, and I don't think this would bother her, but you know, she works at Casey's, she's got a full-time job, she's got a little boy she's trying to support. She can't afford to go rent a lot of places around here. She wanted to be in Overbrook because of our school system. She likes her neighbors, you know. So what are we gonna do, just throw them out on the street?
I don't think that's anybody's option.
Okay, well, good, that's good.
Well, let me put it this way, I just moved in down there, I bought that trailer down there, and I moved in. You wanna know why? Because there is no place in Osage County under $1,000 a month big enough to fit me and my wife in. The cheapest place closest to this place was $1,500 a month, plus utilities. That's crazy. I'm not doing it.
I mean, a long-term option, and this is a really long-term option, is eventually these will be replaced. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
What's eventually?
Well, I don't know.
At some point in time, it's gonna either
does this
catch on
mean we
fire, it's
can't
gonna get dislodged.
Does that mean
Tornado
Amber
will
can't
come
buy
through,
our
a storm,
trailer?
a gust of wind.
No, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying a solution could be that when you're ready to
I'm just
sell
saying.
or remove the trailer from the property, that is taken care of at that time. Now, we could enter into agreements with all the trailer owners to that and say, okay, it's gonna remain here, but when it's removed, could be 10 years from now, could be 15 years from now, it could be 20.
Okay.
It's taken care of at that time. That's certainly an option.
That would
That
probably
was
be the best solution.
That was the point I was trying to get to before, which is that it's no different than how it is that other examples of the same types of problems are addressed when something that's zoned commercial has a residential property on it. at that point of sale, it can no longer be a house anymore. It's zoned commercial. So like everybody's upset because it was whatever, things weren't communicated maybe as clearly as they could have been, but I think that you've got the answers that it is that you're already looking for here.
Yeah.
So can I ask if you're a resident down there and you were to say 15 years down the road you were to sell your trailer, would you agree, enter an agreement with the city that basically says I will disclose XYZ upon sale of that trailer or sale of that home?
I don't think so. I think what they need to do is go through Department of Justice and file a complaint.
The Department of Justice is not getting involved.
They will. Housing and Urban Development, and you also have the Affordable Care Act, and you also have the Housing Act. So there's multiple places you go to file it because you cannot rezone and target low-income families.
No one's rezoning it.
It's been zoned away from the original plat.
The original plat was R1, which means the trailer park could not be there at all.
It was in the county.
That doesn't matter.
It wasn't in the county.
But it has to be in the county if it's not in the city, which means you have to have a reason to pull it into the city.
I understand that. It's always been in the city.
The property's in the city.
It was.
So why are we
platted in the
targeting?
city.
Is that all, you got the only sign in the town that says this is city property on the corner?
The reason why we charge you is because
I didn't even see
It's
that.
right
some
there on
people
the
on
corner.
this.
So
think it's
just back to my original
Exactly.
question, because I know this seems like
Just trying to
not going anywhere, but this is actually making progress. So if you were to sell your trailer down the road, I think what we're trying to avoid is this situation arising later on down. Live there as long as you want. I mean, I'm not speaking for the city. Live there as long as you want. But when you sell it, make sure that you disclose to the next owner, here are the things that, you know what I mean? Like, here are the.
Why wouldn't you do that in the beginning?
You got a question?
You have a statement of a declaration that you attach to the title, and it gets filed with the deeds office, so that way when it is sold, they have
Yeah.
both of them together.
Right. And I don't know, I mean, and I can't speak to this, but have you guys filed deeds with the county? Has everybody filed a deed with the
No,
county?
because it's considered.
It's personal property.
You would have to
Permanent
be,
foundation.
yeah, because it's really personal
Yeah.
property.
It looks like a car title.
Yeah,
And you can
know.
file those titles in the deeds office.
But you can, correct. Yes, that's what I'm saying is, and the reason that actually helps down the road is because the deeds office now knows, so you have one true source of information for the ownership of that particular property.
I disagree with that 100%. I think you're giving the authority back to the city to manage the property. If they keep it the way it is, your grandfather
Then
did.
it's not giving the authority back to the city any more than the city has the authority to manage my property.
You're asking them to brand their title, to brand their deed.
You have to, when you buy it, you have to file, when you buy a home in town, you have to file with the county. All I'm saying here is, if you were to file that deed with the county, or that title with the county, then there's a record as it goes forward of who owns the property, when and where, and so we don't have these issues down the road of, we don't know whose property's whose or where it goes.
It clearly identifies, what we're trying to do is make sure that whatever solution we come up with, it's clearly identified what is gonna happen next. So 30 years from now, when all of us, at least I will probably be gone off the face of the earth,
You can go ahead and laugh while you want, but my family mental history, I got about 20 years left in my life. That's serious.
I hope that's not the case.
But a man in my family made the 70s. I'm 42. Do the math.
My point is we want to be able to solve this problem in a constructive, permanent fashion where people are not caught off guard in, oh, well, I didn't know that, or I wasn't aware of that, or those type of things. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. Yes.
I'm about 5-6 years, maybe a little bit more, close to retiring from the school. I plan on living in that trailer as long as I possibly can with my husband, who I'm currently taking care of because of his illnesses that he's been going through. And, you know, I don't have any plans. I don't have the money to move or whatever. And I also have a big storage shed that I bought when I did have some finances, back in the day. And so walked away, God forbid, and I find it's getting a little bit more difficult to live by myself in the mobile home, and I decide I need to, because I have some hip issues and stuff like that, I might need to move a little bit closer to town for...
Right? I mean, I don't think that that's an issue. Like, when you sell it, it's just like selling anything.
Yeah, it's
right?
like selling a car.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I have had some, between stress of working with my husband and taking care of him and trying to work a full-time job, and then this coming on, I have had chest pains, kind of, like somebody sitting on my chest. I can't handle stress. And this has been stressing me out to the max.
Well, that's certainly not our intent, and I apologize for that. But we are here to try to come up with a solution that we can all live with.
Right, and I just don't want to lose my home because that's the only place I've got.
I don't think we're advocating that anyone lose their home. What we're advocating is we come up with some agreement.
Gotcha.
Could be individual agreements, could be a collective agreement, but it's an agreement between the city, the property owner, and the homeowner, because there's three entities here. So as we move forward, and it's just hypothetical, but if you were looking at this long-term and people decided, hey, I'm getting rid of this trailer. The trailer is then removed because it can't be put back where it's at. Okay, so now we got some property here. Could you come back in that, replat this, and put 16 new trailers in different locations and adjust them to where they're on the property, and with a nice little park maybe in the middle, something of that nature? Sure, that could be done. But again, that's going to take a concerted, long-term effort, and it's going to take all of your partnership to decide that's what we want to do.
Right, but I plan on living there till I either have to move into a nursing home or something, So.
Go ahead.
Okay, if we change the easement, whether Chad buys the 25 feet or not, does anybody really care if that street's that wide? I mean, really?
They still drive the tractor down at the farm to field the way it is now.
Yes, they do.
So
Every year,
They
every
don't
hard.
have in this town.
So
They're
anyway,
one of 2 years.
whether he bought it or just leave it and change the easement, and how far is the furthest trailer over to the west? And only like 10 feet?
I have to look what it says here. PQO, 8.1, 8.8, 9.5, Q is 10.
Okay. So if we just move the easement 10 feet to the west, that would take care of all those, right? Is there a reason we couldn't do that? That would be at no cost to the city, no cost to the homeowners. That way, if we decide to sell the home, we wouldn't have to go through all this because there wouldn't be any violation.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Correct, and again, as we talked earlier, we could enter an agreement, and what Zach was pointing out is we could just simply enter into an agreement that allows you to sell the property as long as they're not moving it as it is, and just disclose, hey, here's the issues with it, until it's moved. I mean, that could be done
Okay,
as
so
well.
let me ask you this. If my house is worth $20,000 down there, and now I have to say to him, oh, by the way, it was $20,000, but you may not be able, this may not be able to be compliant in the future, do you think that house is still gonna be worth $20,000?
No.
I mean, it takes away all the property value. And we all bought that, and new trailers are somewhere in the 100,000 range, honestly, like a new, I don't know, Chad, you probably haven't been, that's what I got, around 100,000. Well, for 100,000, you pretty well just go buy a house, if any were available here, which they're not, but I'm just saying. I don't think it's that difficult to come up with a solution that would make everybody happy.
I have one other question, it's kind of strange. Why are we asking them to buy back the easement? The easement belongs to the city of Overbrook. I mean, we're our tax dollars that own that easement. I go clear out to the middle of the road, so why can't you just gift them the easement?
It's not gifting them, there's one person that owns the easement,
Well,
and
that's
that's
fine.
Chad.
That's fine, but I'm saying, why can't you gift the easement?
Chad
instead?
owns the land, but you're pointing out specific trailers that are on said city property that are personally owned.
Correct.
Not by Chad.
No, actually, the city owns the streets and the alleys.
Right.
It's only to the middle of the road when you are in the county and you are on a township system. So the city does own it.
Correct, which is what I'm saying, why can't we gift that portion back to them and be done?
That would be a council decision, I mean, it could be done, I'm not saying it can't.
And I'd like to state something here. I'm Dan, with the head of the maintenance department. So the sewer main that runs under lot 10, 11, and 12 and goes on to the east over to the co-op side. Now, this is just a scenario, but it's a very possible scenario. If that sewer main was to develop an issue that the joints of the pipe came apart, separated, and the line dropped down, if that was on the downhill side of the sewer main and that fell down, the sewer would continue to flow right on through. And we could have a company come in and they could put a liner in that, which wouldn't, they just set a machine up and it runs it in and relines the pipe. But if that happens on the other side of the bell of that pipe, which we just had that happen last year, over here off of, in between Locust and Sunset, the only way to fix that was we had to have a contractor come in and dig that sewer line up and cut that piece out and readjust it and put a new piece of pipe in. So if that was to happen anywhere in between lot 10 and lot 12, and that had to be dug up, those 3 trailers, I would like to think that not all 3 of them, but it very well could be the worst case scenario that all 3 of those trailers would have to be moved off of that so that work could be done. And
they dig basements under houses with the house there all the time. You're telling me they can't fix a sewer line?
And if it's not built,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta be built in utilities, period.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not aware of, and that's a house and not a mobile home.
Yeah, but a mobile home is easier to get under.
Doesn't matter, it's still weight suspended above a hole.
Yeah.
The principle's the same.
Gotta happen first.
We built stuff
it
for
will
some
now.
of those guys. We understand the principles apply. That's what holds this building up. That's what holds everything up in your world. We built it. And you're trying to BS us? It ain't gonna work, man.
It's okay, it's okay, Chad will pay for it, he's the property owner, right, Chad?
Ain't no one thinks like that but you, because ain't none of us said that ever. We ain't never called Chad and said, guess what, this is your, we talked to Chad, we're decent humans.
That's great,
That
that's
remark wasn't
fantastic.
very decent. No. Just saying.
That's fantastic, but the
Sure.
bottom line remains, you have a problem, you have properties that are outside city, they're on city easement.
What would you do? Just
What would
honest
I
opinion.
do?
What would you? No, if you were me, what would you do? If you made little to no money, right? You live in a trailer you just bought because you had to move out of the house that you lived in for 8 years, right? Okay, the only thing I could find to buy was that. I put $5 grand in it to make it livable, right?
Great, okay.
Okay, what would you do if you were me?
I wouldn't blow up and
I'm
assume that
not
the
blow-
city,
I'm asking.
I would not assume that the city's looking to take your property.
I never said they wanted my house.
We're looking for solutions here.
I'm not the one
right?
that said they wanted my house, and I
But
do
what would
think
you-
you're right.
Did anybody say that they wanted your
I
house?
asked you a question that you're not answering.
You asked Chad to pay for it.
If you're
What
asking-
would you do?
If you're asking me,
No, yeah, sure. Either one of you, what would you do, honestly?
if you're asking me, I would enter into some type of agreement with
And
the
that's what,
city.
yes, I
Whatever
agree
that
with
may-
you.
And
Without
that could-
being thrown out of your property, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly what I would advocate for myself.
And just to be clear, no one is advocating anyone be thrown out of
But
their
I'm-
property, okay? Hold on,
But
please.
that's not what
No,
we
no, hold
said
on,
at
hold on,
city
hold
council
on,
meeting.
please. Please,
No, that-
give me
That's
just
what
a...
every single person heard here. You guys were laughing and joking about people being thrown
One
out.
city council
That
person
is
said,
not
guess they
true.
better
Stop.
contact
There
her
is council
family.
members here. I was in that meeting. You asked me for ways to get into these people's trailers
to inspect them, to condemn them. You called Westar in
You better have a
to have the
search warrant, but you
electricity
signed by a judge.
condemned.
You're still getting
You
money.
said the city had an option to buy all that, to have Swisher pull them out and haul them to scrap.
Yeah.
That's not what I
Becky
said.
says she wants to see better housing down there. Did you
I
say it?
said I would like to see, yeah, I would
really
like
think
to
you
see
do.
some really level.
How do you know they're not better
House looks
housing?
terrible. I don't like the way it looks.
Just because they look bad on the outside does not mean they are
Views
bad on the
about it.
inside.
Pretty judgmental. You go to church, you Christian.
They've already made up their mind.
All right.
Yeah.
Take all
All
the
right,
way.
guys.
All
All right, everyone, let's calm down.
Yeah, but you can fix up the trailers that are there, right? That make them look like better homes, correct?
You're gonna.
Is that something, is that what you're pushing for?
Okay, everybody.
Exactly.
All right. We have a question here.
I have a comment, actually, more of a statement. So, from what I'm seeing, is y'all agree that the best course of actions would be to extend the lines, correct?
Yeah.
And go enter into an agreement that when those houses are no longer livable and need replacing, they can go in the proper spots, correct?
I got a
Tore
question.
down.
No longer
Who
livable by whose
determines
standard?
no longer livable?
More like
Yeah. How do you determine that by looking outside?
The
You
owners.
do. The
Driving down the
owners do.
road.
The homeowners
Yeah.
decide when that house needs replaced.
They're not gonna sign that.
Because according to the state
That's a
of
council
Kansas,
decision.
as
Yeah,
long
city
as
will
it
sign.
I'm just
is
saying, I'm trying to get
habitable.
you on, like, this is the best solution they are coming up with.
Okay, so can we
You go up there and
codify
speak up.
that into a couple of agreements and propose that and see where the council lands? Because while I can discuss this all day long, this is not my decision.
But you could back us very easily,
I
right?
could.
Exactly, you
I
could.
could.
You could.
But I need to
You
know,
should.
is it one solution or is it different solutions for different folks? I don't know.
Did I not just ask that?
I just want to
Take a
make
vote.
one comment here. Is
Yeah.
you brought up the meeting in 23 and the idea of expanding the lot line or the giving Chad the space from that the road was then.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 years and nothing happened on that suggestion. So now 2 years later, we're saying the same thing.
Right. We asked for a proposal from Chad, I'll be honest with you, and we haven't seen anything that says, this is what I want to do.
So,
He's had it for 25 years. Why does he have to come up with that?
Well, because if he doesn't come up with the proposal, then the city creates a proposal.
Right, and then you, like I said, you go to Department of
But
Justice,
2
you
years
go to the
ago, he
CARE
offered to
Act,
buy
and you
your-
file a
buy
complaint
land
saying
from
you're
you to
targeting
make
low-income housing.
Because
Make a
it's
lot.
Exactly it.
It is his.
And I can show you the law, I can show you the Supreme
And he
Court
already
cases.
said he's
And I know you don't like to
satisfied
hear
with the
that,
solution, right?
but a
To buy
complaint
the
from the
land.
federal government's where you gotta start.
yeah.
He's targeting low-income housing, period.
If he already offered to buy the land, then there's the solution right there itself.
Okay.
Right.
If that works if we can have enough space to get that lot. And who's gonna pay for those additional surveys? Chad has not agreed to any cost associated with this.
How about you just leave
Because
us
that's gonna-
alone until the trailers are
Done.
dislodged in some way, shape, or form, and then you approach it then.
And we could do that, we would need to enter into an agreement with each and every one of you if we went down that path.
We
And we
should
could
go down
certainly
that
do
path.
that.
I think you should just leave us alone.
And then everybody's on the same page,
Yeah.
and we'll draw up 16 agreements and say, this is the agreement between the trailer owner, the property owner, and the city, where there's no confusion. We can certainly do that. Is that what you would like to do?
Yeah. No? Not everybody's in agreement with that?
Not
How
everybody's-
many people here, the representative of Mobile Home Park, would be in agreement to just change the easement?
I am.
Yeah.
Simple
Raise your
solution.
hand if you would be in agreement with that.
Redraw a line on a paper. How hard is that? I mean, come on. This shouldn't take years to figure out.
And you're still leaving us alone.
If you work construction, you know it's harder than just redrawing a line on a piece of paper.
Oh, I make it work out there. I made a 6-inch pipe fit in a 4-inch wall. That's Corps of Engineers.
I'm proud of you, but that's not how it works.
The sheet into the furnace wall room. It worked.
All right.
Fire table.
Go ahead,
Any
please.
kind of estimate on what the survey may cost?
I would say anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000.
Okay.
Typically, that's what they've been running the city when we've asked for a survey.
Okay.
A couple $1,000s because it would have to be surveyed, filed, and recorded at the county as this is the official change. That, I'm guessing that's about the cost.
Okay, and then it can never be changed again without.
It would have to go through the same process.
Same process. Same
Same
Count-
process.
The city council, the way this would work is the city council would vote that this is what we want to do. And then have to agree who's paying for that. Is that city paying for it? Is Chad paying for it? Who's paying for it? We'll get that done. Once those are done, those legal documents are drafted up and then filed with the county. That's how that works.
Osage County don't have survey crew anymore? Nope.
Well, you have directors.
So, okay. All right. So, any other proposals, any other solutions?
Well, I don't think we need to iron set on something today, because you have another meeting set for
We
Monday.
do on Monday.
And there is some property owners that are not here.
And just some background here. Now, we got some of this straightened out as far as what the right
Well, we're still
information
not
is.
straight, because are you abandoning the alley project?
Alley project.
To run
Yeah.
to Jessica's house.
Where the sewer main is.
We would still have to come up with some easement agreement or some agreement with the sewers. That would have to be separate. We can abandon the alley, but you still have to retain the sewer easement. So,
I've lived there since 14, and I've never seen anybody even remove the lid from the manhole cover.
we typically wouldn't unless there's a problem. But if we had to repair it, we would have to have some access to be able to repair it.
And if you abandon the alley, then liability's gone. If you did that.
Correct.
But you could keep your easement.
You would have to keep a sewer easement in some fashion, much like the agreement that we had for this one. It just basically said, this is what's gonna happen if we have to repair the sewer. This is who pays for what.
So is the abandonment of the alley, would that just be a city council decision?
Again, it still has to go through, you still have to have, we have the survey, so you could probably, maybe take this one. You
Okay.
still have to file it with the county that you're officially abandoning it, and here's the new easement. That has to be drawn up by a lawyer.
Okay, so would that be the city's responsibility or Chad's responsibility
Well,
or
it
the
sounds like
owners
if-
of the trailers?
All of that discussion is gonna be between Chad and the city.
Okay, okay.
The discussion of how we go about fixing a sewer line would be between the property owners, i.e. you,
Yeah, I own both. I own
And-
10 and 12.
and the city. We would have to come to some agreement as to, okay, here's the easement, and it's still on the property owner, but we would want an agreement with you as to, okay, we got these trailers sitting over the top of it, what's gonna happen if we have to repair it? What methods, what means, that
It's
kind
not
of
even the
thing.
trailer that's sitting over, it's the back there.
No, there's that.
I know it's sitting on the easement, but.
It goes
sitting over the-
underneath 3 trailers.
It goes underneath
You
10.
don't really show the other trailers.
11 and
It's hard to
12.
see there, but it goes right underneath 3 of them.
So again, that could be solved with an agreement that.
Could be solved with an
You
agreement.
just enter an agreement that says, here's how we'll handle this if it becomes an issue. And like someone said, if it hadn't been open in 25 years, then no big deal, right? It's just when that comes about, this is what you do.
I will tell you, it will come about, sooner than later, given our system. And the reason I'm saying that is, those 2 manholes are still the brick line manholes. That means we did not line them when we did the sewer project. We do believe that is also clay pipe underneath those. So that has not been, it was not replaced in the sewer project. So it is one of the older parts of the system.
Definitely now.
So, will it need some attention at some point? Probably. Okay. Do we have any other discussion on this?
When are we gonna do it, when is this a decision, like city council meeting, when is this gonna come up as like an actual solution?
When are you gonna have a final solution?
Yeah.
Wednesday.
We can certainly discuss it on Wednesday, and if the council makes a decision as to what direction they want to go, it will take some time to get the surveys and all the legal paperwork done, so it's gonna be a little while. Even if they voted on it Wednesday, you know, it's gonna be some time before it all gets finalized. Is that acceptable?
Depends on how long that is.
No, that's what we do, right?
We're gonna have, we would need to agree, I mean, the council's gonna have to agree as to who pays for this, because this is a cost.
Are y'all wanting like a deadline for them to make that decision?
No, not yet.
No? Okay.
Just in the normal.
Who, the city? Yeah, I'd like some sort of deadline that's reasonable, because we had the meeting back in 2023.
That's fair.
And apparently John was waiting on stuff. I guess honestly, I thought it'd just kind of gone away, because we hadn't heard anything for 2 years until
Right,
this
it
happened.
just kind of disappeared until all
Yeah,
of a
and
sudden.
why did this just come up all of a sudden? I mean,
Instead of it constantly
like on
being
Monday,
worked
we
on
find
for
out
these
there's a
2 years.
meeting.
The reason for that is because the information that was being put out there that I felt needed, I wanted you guys' input to clarify and work with you guys, because the information being put out in various means was inaccurate.
Okay.
And we had the reason for the meeting on Monday is because we had a owner call us and say, can you have a meeting at Monday at 6 o'clock? And I said, sure, I can do that.
That was
And then made it 3 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock.
No,
There's 2 meetings.
Today's was always set at 3, and then I called and asked if it could be moved to an evening one, so the people that worked could come.
Could be here, and they just flat out said no.
No,
there is another meeting.
So we have a meeting set for Monday night also at 6 p.m. So anybody who couldn't be here today would have an opportunity to come Monday night, which I appreciate.
That's why,
Thank
and
you.
that's why we hand delivered the letters, because we
Yeah.
knew the mail
Yeah.
wouldn't get there.
Yeah.
So, apologize for the
Then why
short
have
notice.
it on such short notice if you knew the mail wasn't going to make it there on time?
What's the
Like,
problem?
there's
What's
no
your problem
common
with it?
sense.
Well, I mean, you're
There's
at the
no
meeting-
common sense with
you're
this
at the-
man sitting right
Oh,
here.
great. You're at the meeting on a Friday at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
There's another
Because
opportunity.
I'm worried about the people in this community.
Great. There's another opportunity to meet on Monday at
And
6
I will
o'clock.
definitely be
So
here.
what is the issue that you would like resolved here?
I would like this entire situation to be resolved.
Okay, no.
We-
I'm talking about the meeting time.
people here-
You're at the meeting right now. What is the issue with the meeting time that you would like resolved right now?
Well, obviously, there's nothing that can be resolved
Okay,
right now
problem
because we're
solved. What's
continuously
next?
in the meeting.
All right.
Okay.
If we don't have any,
I'm out of here.
if we don't have
fucking
any
bullshit.
other,
No, John Brady doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Okay, great.
if we don't have any other solutions, it sounds to me, and correct me if you don't think this is the summary here, is on the agenda, you'd like the council to consider the options we have as to move or abandon the alley and move the lines. Work with Chad as to, for some agreement to that, if there's money involved and who pay, and with that, we're gonna have to agree to who pays for what, if that's the solution. Or the other solution is to then get everyone back together and we'll enter into agreements with each property trailer owner as to what they might want in their agreement. That's the two options that I'm hearing.
Is Chad agreeing? Chad, you agree? Yeah?
Well,
I mean, you're not saying this, man. We need to know what you agree on.
Sure, you don't want to spend
Well, I'm gonna
thousands of
talk
dollars.
with you here when everybody
Okay,
rolls out
just
here.
making sure you're getting your time.
Sounds good. All right, anything else?
I would
Well,
like, I would
I
like
agree.
to make a statement.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I was offended by, now, I know this is hearsay, but I've had several people back it up, the comment about Jagger just coming in and yanking the trailers out and selling it for scrap and being laughed at.
Unfortunately, we did have a council member that did
Okay.
And now we got
did make an off comment. It was out of context, the way that comment was put. The question at the time was different, and there's other context around that, and I'm not gonna go into that,
That's
but,
fine.
you know,
See-
so
What context would you have to justify a comment like that?
Because these are people's homes.
And so that's, the only thing that I would ask is, okay, yeah, there probably wasn't there was a comment that was made that shouldn't have been made.
Right.
Can we move forward and find a common solution? Because at the end of the
I
day,
think whoever laughed and made the comment should publicly, or should apologize to us.
I don't have any I don't have any
But the only
perspective on that in
problem
any
is-
way, shape, or form. All the city is doing here and all the mayor's looking to do is, let's move this forward constructively so
Yeah.
people don't get kicked out of their homes.
That's fine.
And, you know, a lot of things offend me a lot, and it probably shouldn't have been said. I don't even know what the comment was, but let's not let perfect be the enemy of
But our
good.
home
Well, and I'm
debate
not, I
on the
just brought
person that
it
made
up
the comment,
because I
correct?
want,
Because it's city
when the
council.
city is making
Right?
decisions about our homes, I don't think it's a laughing matter.
and I
And
believe.
that's all I'm saying.
And
Again,
what was not, let me just say this. What was not emphasized is I had a discussion outside of that and said, no, this is not a laughing matter, because somebody made a comment on that, and I said, no, this is not a laughing
I
matter.
appreciate that.
This is people's homes. It's my exact words.
So just moving forward, if we can
And
find a
that's fine,
solution.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
okay.
understand.
Okay, good, I appreciate it.
All right, Kyle?
Kyle, can you hear?
I can hear, I've been here the whole time. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I want to address that comment that was made. Because I made it, John didn't, and it wasn't in regards to all the trailers. We were specifically speaking about abandoned trailers. And my comment was, if they're abandoned and we don't know who owns them, because that was the comment that was made, it is unclear who owns them. I said, we need to find out who owns them, and if they're abandoned, they need to be removed.
Sir, none of those
Hold on,
trailers are
please,
abandoned.
let him finish, please. Go ahead, Kyle.
There was comment made that there were 4 empty trailers. I asked if they were abandoned. It was not clear if they were abandoned or not. I simply said, if there are abandoned trailers down there, we need to get rid of them. We need the owners to get rid of them, or we need to get rid of them. None of the trailers that people live in did I ever suggest be removed. I suggested we remove anything that was abandoned if it was determined it was abandoned. John made the comment, how would we do that? I said if we could get the owners identified, they would be responsible. If not, we could have them scrapped out. And I did say, hell, maybe Jagger could haul them out. They could be, the scrap price could pay for the removal. And I did chuckle at that. Then there was a comment made that we're laughing about the people living down there. That was not the case at all. And John did say this isn't a laughing matter. I wasn't laughing about the situation at all. I made a comment that if they were abandoned, they should be removed. That's all I said. If anybody wants to talk to me about it, they're more than welcome to do so at any time.
I appreciate your honesty.
Well, I don't know who he is.
Kyle Michael, City Council.
Oh.
Is he on the council?
Yes.
But I made it very clear, because I followed all the trash talk on Facebook. I know it's a very emotional situation. People are very upset. I want it very clear that I never at any time suggested anybody be removed from their trailers, or that any trailer someone was living in be removed. If it was determined that there were abandoned trailers, I still agree they should be removed. That's a safety hazard.
But there's no abandoned trailers.
So then we don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
They're all,
Just don't, yeah.
Okay.
Fly your own.
All right.
Fly your own.
I want everybody, let anybody know, John did not make that comment. I did, and it was very specific. It was completely twisted around.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. You got anything else?
No, that's all I've got now. I'll see you Monday.
All right, we'll see you Monday.
Kind of like this.
Okay. Got a couple paths here. We'll put some words to that. And I thank you all for coming and appreciate your candor and your support and engagement in this process.